You say that Donald Trump has the best day in the entire world, completely outperforms expectations, and he wins all of the toss-up states. He wins all 5 of those states, plus that electoral college vote in Maine that he's after. If he wins all of the toss-ups, which would be insane because nobody wins all of the toss-up states, even if Donald Trump did win all of the toss-up states, he would still lose. Hot off the presses, we are breaking this news right here, right now. You're going to think I'm kidding, but the presidential race appears to be tied in South Carolina. Yes, I said South Carolina, not North Carolina. South Carolina.
Right now, the state of South Carolina has gone Republican.
And this is a Democratic polling firm, but this is a real polling firm. This is legit methodology. And they are finding a tie in presidential politics in South Carolina. No Democrat has carried South Carolina in the presidential since Jimmy Carter.
Right now, the state of South Carolina has gone Republican.
4 polls that have Clinton up by more than 10 points, or at least 10 points. Her lead is reaching levels we just didn't see in the past few campaigns.
And this is a Democratic polling firm, but this is a real polling firm. This is legit methodology.
What if we're seeing something else, something deeper, a more permanent separation between Clinton and Trump? Could we be seeing our first true landslide in a long time, a double-digit landslide? That is Clinton's lead in 4 polls now. And the last time an election ended with a candidate winning by double digits, well, you got to go all the way back to this.
We're watching a really phenomenal development tonight as Ronald Reagan continues to roll through the country. So far, Walter Fritz Mondale has won only the District of Columbia. All those states that you see behind me that are colored blue are the states that we have projected Ronald Reagan the winner in tonight.
Hey, what are these 5 gray states? These are basically Rust Belt states. These are industrial Midwest states that Donald Trump thinks he can flip. They were blue states in 2012. If you look at Trump's strategy, if you look at the blue-collar voters he's going after, these are the kinds of states he thinks he can flip and get to 270. So the first question is, how is he doing in these states that are the most promising for him to flip, at least in his strategy? So let's take a look. First of all, we have a poll out of Pennsylvania. This is a brand new poll. This came out a couple hours ago. NBC News, Marist. Well, look at this. A double-digit lead for Hillary Clinton in Pennsylvania. Hardly the first double-digit lead for Hillary Clinton in Pennsylvania. This is the 3rd one we've seen in a week for her. So Donald Trump, Pennsylvania is a big target, but all the evidence we have right now says Pennsylvania is still favored to be a Democratic state.
Megyn, huge news. Actually, the AP now projecting that Donald Trump has won the state of Pennsylvania.
That is the race, frankly. There is no path forward for Hillary Clinton.
What about Ohio? We have a brand new poll out of Ohio. Donald Trump doing a little better here, but he is still down in Ohio, a 5-point gap. So again, right now, Donald Trump targeting Ohio just like he's targeting Pennsylvania, but he's not there right now. Clinton's still leading in Ohio.
We have a major projection right now. Donald Trump will take Ohio.
Another one, brand new NBC Marist poll out of Iowa today. Again, a little bit closer, but a 4-point lead for Hillary Clinton. This is supposed to be a ripe target for Donald Trump. He had his convention. He's had chances here. He was out there for the caucuses earlier this year. He is still trailing in this poll in Iowa. Closer, he could turn it around. But again, for right now, is Donald Trump ahead in Iowa? Not in this poll.
CNN projects Donald Trump will win the state of Iowa.
We don't have new polls today, but Wisconsin, Michigan, these are other states Donald Trump has talked about flipping with the Rust Belt strategy. We have not seen a poll that puts him ahead in these states.
CNN now projects that Donald Trump will carry the state of Wisconsin. He will win Wisconsin with its 10 electoral votes. He's cracked the so-called blue wall that Hillary Clinton had tried to create.
So again, the burden is still on Donald Trump to show that he can do something Mitt Romney and a whole bunch of other Republicans over the last generation or so couldn't do, and that is actually win these states. That's the first thing that's going wrong for Trump. The bigger problem is this, though. These are the blue states he thinks he can flip. How about the red states he needs to hold? How about the states Romney won in 2012 that Trump maybe is just assuming he's going to hold? Well, check this out. Brand new numbers out of North Carolina. North Carolina was a Mitt Romney state in 2012. Well, right now in this poll, Hillary Clinton has the lead. Very close. Certainly Donald Trump could still win it. I'd call it a toss-up state, but we have seen polls putting Hillary Clinton ahead there. It is possible Hillary Clinton could end up flipping North Carolina. making it a blue state.
We have another state to project it is the state of North Carolina, big battleground state. It's going to Donald Trump, 15 electoral votes.
Trump's problem, though, gets a lot worse than North Carolina. Look at this. Georgia, new poll, 7-point lead here for Hillary Clinton. Not the first poll that we've seen putting her ahead in Georgia. This is a state that last went Democratic back in 1992. Again, Donald Trump could still take Georgia, but Hillary Clinton certainly has a chance to flip Georgia.
And CNN now projects that Donald Trump will carry the state of Georgia.
But if Hillary Clinton could sustain the kind of lead she has leaped out into this race, you could see other states that suddenly get crazy. States you wouldn't have even imagined, like a South Carolina, even a Texas. They could at least become competitive. And what it would mean doesn't mean Hillary Clinton's going to win all of these. It means we could have more competitive states than we ever imagined.
You think with South Carolina and Kansas, you would think those would be not just likely, but likely / slam dunk / guaranteed / obviously this is ruby red, South Carolina and Kansas. But instead, they're light red. They're just lean Republican now. South Carolina leans Republican.
The state of South Carolina has gone Republican.
Kansas leans Republican.
Donald Trump, we project, will win Kansas with its 6 electoral votes.
And if those are the toss-up states, if you do the math associated with all the electoral votes from all of the states, if they go that way, if the lean Republican and likely Republican go red, and the lean Democrat and likely Democrat go blue, if you sign those out that way, and then you say that Donald Trump has the best day in the entire world, completely outperforms expectations, and he wins all of the toss-up states. He wins all 5 of those states, plus that electoral college vote in Maine that he's after. If he wins all of the toss-ups, which would be insane because nobody wins all of the toss-up states, even if Donald Trump did win all of the toss-up states, he would still lose. In terms of what's still a toss-up, there's only 5 states that are still considered a toss-up right now. Florida.
And CNN projects Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida.
Iowa.
CNN projects Donald Trump will win the state of Iowa with its 6 electoral votes.
Ohio.
Will take Ohio.
Florida, Iowa, Ohio, Nevada, Georgia.
CNN now projects that Donald Trump will carry the state of Georgia.
And this is a Democratic polling firm, but this is a real polling firm. This is legit methodology.
To say, Kristen Welker standing by at Clinton headquarters to talk to us. Kristen, am I correct that we're going to hear from John Podesta soon from the podium?
Well, here's what we know, Brian. He is headed over here. What's significant about that is that the Clinton campaign has largely gone dark for well over an hour now. A number of people have left in tears. There is stunned disbelief as these results, as they come in. Earlier in the evening, they were looking for any sign that there was a potential path forward. When the results of Nevada, for example, came in, the crowd burst into cheers. But now, really, it's just silence as they listen to the music playing and await to hear what happens next, Brian.
And there is how so many Hillary Clinton supporters are reacting in that room.
It's an interesting decision by the campaign to come out and say, go home, we're not going to say anything else tonight. I mean, it's true that there are 5 races that are either too close or too early to call.
For Donald Trump this evening, 228, 209. Kristen Welker covering the Clinton campaign. Kristen?
Have now confirmed that Secretary Clinton has conceded to Donald Trump. This concession took place in a phone call. We anticipate just moments ago. And as we are awaiting Donald Trump taking the stage here, that is the news at this hour. Secretary Clinton has conceded to Donald Trump.
And then you say that Donald Trump has the best day in the entire world, completely outperforms expectations, and he wins all of the toss-up states. He wins all 5 of those states, plus that electoral college vote in Maine that he's after. If he wins all of the toss-ups, which would be insane because nobody wins all of the toss-up states, even if Donald Trump did win all of the toss-up states, he would still lose.
Right now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency. Donald Trump elected president of the United States.
It is a stunning and shocking development, particularly for her supporters who waited hours here at the Javits Center to hear from her when it appeared as though the path was becoming too difficult. A number of them broke out into tears, started leaving early. Grief started to set in, one of her supporters told me. This is a political upset of huge, huge magnitude.
Even if Donald Trump did win all of the toss-up states, he would still lose.
Of course, she was holding the event here at the Javits Center, which has a glass ceiling, something that she was hoping to break through tonight to make history to become the first woman president. But it was not to be. Again, Secretary Clinton conceding to Donald Trump this evening.
Even if Donald Trump did win all of the toss-up states, he would still lose.
You're awake, by the way. You're not having a terrible, terrible dream. Also, you're not dead and you haven't gone to hell. This is your life now. This is our election now. This is us. This is our country. It's real.